This video is powered by MyG Future. Experience the next. Gautham Vasudev Menon, sir. I've heard that you don't smile much, sir. Why is that?
No, go on. I don't want to answer. You can go on. I'd like to listen to you talk about this.
Sir,
I've never said this to anybody.
are you selling expectations? How to fall in love, sir?
Vettaiyaadu Vilaiyaadu.
Sir, you're saying a lot of things.
It's my longest love affair, I think.
Oh, mera penne. We are keeping it fire. I'm waiting for that moment where you'll ask me to sing.
Can you sing it from the Charanam?
Charanam.
Unarvugal Sirukadai.
Single pasangala. Sir, do you have any experience? Sir, give me a hand, sir. Undra, Renda, Asega. Hello guys, welcome to MyG Presents Pearle Maaney Show. ഞാൻ ഇന്ന് ഭയങ്കര ഒരു റൊമാൻറ്റിക് മൂഡിലേക്ക് പോയിരിക്കുകയാണ്. ബിക്കോസ് എൻ്റെ ആദ്യത്തെ പ്രണയത്തിൻ്റെ ബാക്ക്ഗ്രൗണ്ട് സ്കോറും എൻ്റെ ആദ്യത്തെ പ്രണയം ആ സമയത്തൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ ആ ഇമോഷൻ എന്താണെന്നൊക്കെ പഠിച്ചു വരുന്ന സമയത്ത് നമ്മൾ ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ കണ്ട് നൊന്ത് വെണ്ണീറായിപ്പോയ ആ സിനിമകൾ, അതായത് മിന്നലെ, വാരണം ആയിരം, കാക്ക കാക്ക, Vinnaithaandi Varuvaayaa, Gautham Vasudev Menon, the legend. So once again, welcome to MyG Presents Pearle Maaney Show, and we have Gautham Vasudev Menon. Pearle Maaney Show. Gautham Vasudev Menon. He paints emotions with silence and love with longing. He made trains, beaches, and even phone calls feel cinematic. With a voice as calm as his frames and stories that stay old like melodies, he gave us men who feel and women who fight and romances that ache just right. From Minnale to Vaaranam Aayiram, he doesn't just direct films, he directs our hearts. Let's welcome the master of moments, the poet of visuals, the dreamer we all grew up watching, Gautham Vasudev Menon, to Pearle Maaney Show. Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of MyG Presents Pearle Maaney Show. ഇന്നലെ രാത്രി തൊട്ട് ഞാൻ ഉറങ്ങിയിട്ടില്ല സർ. രാത്രി 1:30 വരെ I was sitting and writing and I was thinking literally like a 10-year-old, 11-year-old. I went back to my teenage days because you shaped a lot of emotions that എനിക്ക് ഞങ്ങളിങ്ങനെ നാവിഗേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നൊരു ഏജ് ആണല്ലോ. When your first love and first heartbreak or rejection, you literally helped us navigate through all those emotions in such class and style, and thank you so much, sir, for being you and for giving us all the wonderful movies that you've given us. Please welcome to Pearle Maaney Show, Gautham Vasudev Menon, sir.
Thank you. Teenage years must have been just a few years ago, right?
Thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you. I've heard that you don't smile much, sir. Why is that, sir?
But I just smile.
I know, sir. Yeah. Why people are talking like this?
People say all sorts of things.
I think it's only the right person should be in front of you. That's when you smile.
True.
Alle?
Very true.
The reason why we are sitting here today is because you fell in love, not with a person, but with movies and cinema. How did you fall in love with cinema?
Not just that, it's my longest love affair, I think. It's still going strong. Even when the chips are down, I still feel like I want to be in it. Padangal Kannam, I still want to know what film is released today. Ticket to poi nokkan pettu. And then when I go back home also, I have a couple of hours. എന്തെങ്കിലും നമ്മൾ നെറ്റ്ഫ്ലിക്സിലോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ OTT-യിൽ കാണാൻ പറ്റുമെന്ന് I keep looking for it. And there's always this constant need to write something, to create something, to figure out what's happening as far as films are concerned. So that's going on. I fell in love with movies probably because of my father and mother. വീട്ടിലൊക്കെ കുറേ പടങ്ങൾ അവർ കാണും. They're not film industry people as such, film buffs ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ കുറേ സിനിമയെ പറ്റിയും പടങ്ങളെ പറ്റിയും അവർ സംസാരിക്കും. കുറേ മ്യൂസിക് all the time would play at home. റേഡിയോയിലും പിന്നെ ഒരു ഗ്രാമഫോണിലും പിന്നെ cassette players and then CD players. All at every point there was music constantly playing at home. Amma ingane പഴയ പടങ്ങളെ പറ്റി സോങ്സിനെ പറ്റി. Dad used to talk about Raj Kapoor films and Gurudutt films and dad's Malayali, mom is Tamil. So വീട്ടിൽ തന്നെ ഞങ്ങൾ കുറേ ഈ തമിഴ്, മലയാളം, ഹിന്ദി and English film നമ്മൾ കാണും.
It's all 4 languages.
Yeah, and I would know about actors from Malayalam, films from here that they talk about, you know, their growing up years and all that. So slowly there was a sort of an interest that was created by them. And then I saw a film called Nayagan, which, you know, Mani Ratnam sir made.
Yes.
And from then on, I wanted to make those films.
I wanted to make.
Yeah. And then I revisited a lot of other films at that point. And then gradually I finished my engineering, but I didn't want to pursue that. I wanted to pursue a career in filmmaking, and I came into this.
Do you still remember that moment which made you decide, yes, this is it. This is what I want to do?
It was that film called Nayagan, which after I watched, I went back to many theatres and watched the film again and again. I was 16, I remember, and I discussed that film extensively with my friends from the area. No film industry people as such around, just, you know, your neighborhood that you play cricket with, and with those boys. And there was always this Kamal or Rajni kind of a sort of a friendly war that would go on, right? So Nayagan was heavily discussed, and somewhere those visuals, you know, grabbed me. Somewhere the imagery grabbed me. I wanted to go back and figure out. I started studying that film to figure out where this camera is moving and why is it moving like this, and how many shots and everything. So it started, you know, growing in me, sort of a thing. So that's probably when it started.
I've noticed that all cinema perilum oru uniqueness undu. The Tirukkural poleyo allengi oru poem poleyo. There's something about each. Ipo Minnale avate, Kaakha Kaakha, Vettaiyaadu Vilaiyaadu. Adu enganeyana aa perukalilekku ettunnathu?
Tamil and Malayalam in the room potu yosikkiradana illa ennu parayum. It just comes. I've never spent time thinking what should this film be called, or, you know, what is the name of this film. It just comes in that flow. Sometimes when I'm writing, it will happen. Like Vinnaithaandi Varuvaayaa was first, my working title was Vennilave Vennilave. It was a film that I had worked on with Rajiv sir, Minsara Kanavu. And somewhere, you know, that was the title, my working title. And somewhere along the way, somebody suggested, what about the next line of that song? And it was very apt for that film.
Vinnai Thandi Varuvaayaa. Wow.
Yeah.
So that's how it happened.
Yeah. And Vettaiyaadu Vilaiyaadu again was from an old MGR song.
Yeah.
But it was very apt for that story. Pachekali Muthuchuram somewhere was also, you know, an MGR song. But I felt it was very apt for that story. Vaaranam Aayiram was, of course, from Andal Tirupavai. So it just, you know, when I'm riding the bike or when I'm just traveling somewhere as a thought, a title will come up and I've just gone for it.
இப்போ எல்லாருமே 6 அடிக்க முடியும், எல்லா பால்ஸுமே 6 அடிக்க முடியாதுன்னு சொல்லும் மாதிரி. But you have done that. Almost all your movies are a hit. Like ഞാൻ ഇവിടെയാണ്, കേരളത്തിലാണ് ജനിച്ചത്, വളർന്നത്, എല്ലാം. പക്ഷേ when they said you're coming on the show, you won't believe, I called up so many of my cousins, my friends. They all send me questions. They like, ask him about this movie, ask him about that. Because in Kerala, you are celebrated as a director because you taught us so many things, the facets about love. When it's Minnale, okay, I used to sing Vasigara sir since childhood. Like wherever I go, my mom and dad like, paatu padva. I'll sing that song. Even now I sing that song. Like it's the only song, Ondra Rendra. Even the music, ellam. I think after Vaaranam Aayiram, ivada guitar and sales bayangarayitte koodi. You created that trend. You captured the youth. Aa oru time la bayangarayitte you captured the generation. Literally, they are stuck with you. So, what do you have to say about that?
Thank you. You're very kind. You're saying a lot of nice things. But that wasn't the plan. The plan was, there was no agenda. I do, and you said all my films are hits, right? Honestly, it doesn't matter. They are not. Honestly, they are not. Not all the films.
Sir,
but
I think
it doesn't
all your
matter.
I watched all your films and I loved all your films. Pachakali Muthucharam is one of my favorites because nobody ever spoke about that.
Like that film a lot.
Yeah,
actually,
because how beautifully you showed how he fell for, like it's a honey trap. But how he fell for her, you kind of made it look possible. It is possible, right?
I think it was a bit ahead of its time.
Yes.
Like, and Jyotika playing that character, since we're talking about that film, people somewhere were not ready to accept something like that at that point. So that's always there's one magic in the theatre that has to happen in a sort of a universal way, right? Some films, as an audience, you get a little lesser of that sometimes. That's all I feel. So honestly, it doesn't matter. For me, everything is experimental. I make it from my heart, thinking this will work for me. And then I'm hoping it will transcend into a huge section of the audience.
How did you know this is how the love is in this generation?
I don't know anything. I don't think anybody knows. We make it from the art. Like I said, it's always under an experimental umbrella for me. I'm hoping it will work. Like even us talking, you said you rated 8th this week, right? Or this month. Now, we're talking, you're making me feel comfortable and there's one nice flow, right? Some people might not like the way we speak. Some people will really like the way this was done, you know. So you never know. But I'm here and I'm talking to you. So it's just like that. I mean, you just have to be in the right place at the right time and try and put things out. That's all. Yeah.
Now, we have to talk about Bazooka because that trailer, right? The whole trailer has your voiceover. Okay? And hearing you speak in Malayalam,
was funny.
No. That's very cute. See, when a person is putting his best foot forward to speak a language that's not his comfort zone, and you can see the effort. But more than the words, it's your voice, the emotion that you gave. And you're also part of the movie Benjamin Joshua, like ACP. So, in the first, Mamu came. Both of you are coming together, such strong characters, very revealing, we can understand both of you chasing something, it's between good and evil. So tell us about Bazooka and how was it working with Mamuka?
The Mamuka. See, Dino obviously came to me saying, big fan, loves my work, I want you to be in my film. But for me, the more important thing was, Mamuka had already said yes to the film, and that's how I took the meeting itself. What Mamuka told me later was Dino had come to just narrate a story to him. I don't think Dino was supposed to direct the film. A story parayan vannadana. But Dino narrated the kandapo, and he liked the story a lot. He said, "Why don't you direct it?" Okay. Then they came to me, and the whole team came and they met me, and I liked the story for sure. But for me, what grabbed more than anything else was the fact that Mamuka had already said yes and he was in the film. Appo I had a chance to just be in the same space as Sir to collaborate with him as an actor. Although I was very worried because they told me it's live sound, no dubbing later, and dialogues proper. I'm good with that, but it was challenging. And Mamuka also taught me. This is my first live sound experience. This acting Dominic shoot where I directed. That's live sound. But in the experience, seriously, because as an actor, you learn a lot of things while you're speaking lines, which are not going to be dubbed later. You need to be aware of what's around you and not to create any other sounds that will disturb the sound of your dialogues. So Mamuka told me a few things which I grabbed and learned from that point. It was a great, crazy experience. Young team, and they were very, very confident about what they were doing. And both of us, obviously Sir is legendary, but just behind him, both of us were looking at what are these guys up to, let's see what they do. But they were very confident. And like you said, it's a cat and mouse sort of a police and robber kind of a thing with the whole gaming as a backdrop, I think that's new in this film. And hopefully, it will connect with a lot of people, I think. So,
And when I was thinking of your role in the trailer, ACP, the iconic characters that you've done as a director. When you did this role, did you take inspiration from Raghavan, Anbuselvan, or was it Satyadev?
So you're talking about tremendous actors, who bring their own to the character, like with Kamal Sir and Surya and even Ajit and all that. When you narrate something to them, you just have to step back and have a camera, especially Kamal Sir, and grab what they're giving you. You cannot direct them as actors, I'm saying. You set up the mood, you set up the feel and everything, and then you grab to see what they've done.
They'll bring something to the table.
And that's what a director should do, actually. You can't be going and showing an actor what to do. It's there in your mind. If it's too much away from what you wanted, and if it's nice, you still go for it. That's how I work. So when I put myself in these characters, I'm a very, very reluctant actor. I say yes very rarely to films. Every day I get an offer to do something or other, but I'm saying no because I don't like to, I don't want to. That's not what I came to be here for, So very reluctantly I say yes to a few films, especially if this was of course because Mamuka was already in, right? So in that scenario, I never thought of Raghavan or Satyadev or anybody like that. And I was very, very scared and wary of Mamuka also. I had to be on my toes, ready for whatever was given to me. And there were a lot of scenes where I had all the lines and sir was just listening to me and, walking by my side. We'll sit and I'll be explaining what is going on, this crime, this happened. He'll be listening most of the time, Okay. So I was very, very tense. So I had to overcome that, and I think I did a good job of that, is all I'm saying. Yeah.
So we're just waiting to watch the movie in the big screen. ഇത് പറയുന്നതിൻ്റെ ഇടയിൽ എനിക്കൊരു കാര്യം പറയണം കേട്ടോ. ഞാൻ ബിഗ് ബോസ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടൊരു ഫസ്റ്റ് സീസണിൽ മലയാളത്തിൽ ഐ വാസ് പാർട്ട് ഓഫ് ഇറ്റ്.
Okay.
അപ്പം അതിൽ one day Kamal sir came on the show like as a guest. He enters the Big Boss house. ഞങ്ങൾ 100 ദിവസം ഓൾമോസ്റ്റ് എനിക്ക് 70 അത്ര ദിവസമായി. അപ്പോൾ തമിഴ്ന്ന് he's visiting us and we were so thrilled. Okay, പെട്ടെന്ന് ബിഗ് ബോസ് ഒരു അനൗൺസ്മെൻറ്റ് തരാണ്, കമൽ സാർ വരുമ്പം നിങ്ങൾ അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് എൻ്റർടൈൻ ചെയ്യണം. സോ വി ആർ ഗോണ ഗിവ് ഈച്ച് ഓഫ് യു എ സീൻ ഫ്രം ഹിസ് മൂവീസ്. എനിക്ക് കിട്ടിയത് വേട്ടയാട് വിളയാടല്ലേ ഈ കണ്ണ്. And I'm like, why would you give me that scene? Like I'm seeing it for the first time. And I actually, എനിക്ക് അവരുടെ ഡ്രസ്സും ആ ബൂട്ട്സും ഒക്കെ they'll send you okay costume and everything. And I had to, show that scene in front of him. And he said, wow. And that's a moment that I'll never forget. And now that you're also like part of it, tell me about Kamal sir and how was it working with him? Such a legend.
Yeah. Legend, yes. Big fan also. I've watched his work and wanted to work with him.
That's why you wanted to come into movies.
Yeah. I've tried working with him also as, maybe part of his direction team when he directed. And just thought should be around, and it's all a learning process, right? It was only that. So to direct him was tremendous in that sense. I loved every minute of it and learned so much while directing him also. Because that's where I learned that, like I just said earlier, right? You just need to have a camera ready to grab what the actor is giving you. And beyond that, you can't direct somebody of that stature. Similarly, I'm not saying it because I worked with him. Even Mammootty sir was the same experience sort of a thing. Everything is set up and they just come into that scene and they own it, and then you just sit back and film it. So with Kamal sir, it was a great experience, and again on my toes all the time to make sure, there are a lot of questions they'll ask you. Why this? Why am I saying this? What is the mood here? Okay, why didn't you like the first take? Why do you want a second take? So you have to be like really on the ball.
You have to have your own clarity.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't go in without that. It's not just, it's not any given day, for sure.
Yes.
So it was a great experience and it was a big hit also,
Yeah,
so everything worked out so well. The particular scene that you talked about, which you did. This is not written in the script. Just the dialogue was there.
He did it on his...
The dialogue was there saying, enna mani en kannu venunu kettiya. Idana roypuram mani needana. இந்த மணி எடுத்துக்கோ கண் வேணா எடுத்துக்கோ the knife is given. But while doing that he did this and we were ready to grab that, so that's why I'm saying you can't.
So how did you feel when he did that?
I remember Ravi Varman is the DOP and I was like Ravi so we were on a zoom lens and we just zoomed in like that.
So these are like pearls that you get when you're shooting, right? Like when you get something beyond what you asked for. I think that's a blessing for you as a director. Let's come to Vinnaithaandi Varuvaayaa, okay? So when that movie released, all Kerala girls were happy, sir, because you made Malu girls look so cool in front of the entire, across the states, and we were like, oh, mera penne, like every girl, we all had our own background score for a long time. So what is your take on Malayali girls, sir? like why did you choose a Malayali character? Like I don't think a lot of Tamil movies have featured Malayali heroines, like a character who's a Malayali and a Tamil boy coming together, because the dynamics change. There is a cultural difference when it comes to two states, right? So when they come together, there's a new chemistry that is being born, and we loved watching it. With the music, everything was beautiful, and the Mottamadi romance agatum, the first love, and the gate. It's all so relatable. Where did you get that spark from?
I saw these moments happening in my life, so I just wanted to sort of make a film about that. I didn't start writing thinking this is a story I'm going to write. I've said this many times, I was writing for a superstar in Telugu who is known to be in really big mass commercial films. So what he was expecting is a big action film, but I ended up writing this story because as I started writing, I thought of somebody I knew, and some of these moments that you actually saw in Vinnai Thandi, and those, just happened, and it's something that happened when I was 13, 14, 15, 16. So that sort of stayed with
Was
me
it
forever.
13? Because I think 13 is the correct age to fall in love. No? When did you all fall in love?
8, 9. is
Can
it?
I tell you something honestly, sir? 10 years I felt it because of your Minnale.
Should I say sorry or?
I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm too smart. But I studied in a girls' school, sir. I could sing Vasigara only to the watchman. No encounter whatsoever. Vasigara was that song which, like, I'm waiting for that moment where you'll ask me to sing the song. No, I don't want you to leave, so I'll probably.
No, I thought
say-
you were bored with that, so I won't ask you the way.
Are
you
you?
were
I'm
saying.
not bored.
My parents would ask me to sing Vasigara left, right, and center.
No.
So, yeah.
Why do you think I kept on singing?
Okay.
I only told them, make me sing.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. Eventually, we'll ask you to sing on the show. But I'd love to listen to you sing.
yeah, before that, I need some green tea. Wow, that's a big. Tender love. We were talking about Malayali women.
I'm fascinated by women and especially Malayali women. That's all I'll say right now.
Why? Because coconut oil?
No.
Just kidding.
Not just because of the coconut oil, but somehow, I don't know, from the 8th or 9th standard, all my summer holidays were in Kerala and Ottapalam. And then when I studied in college also, I wouldn't go back to Chennai. I'd come to Kerala to see my grandmother. And I was hugely influenced by my grandmother.
She lived till 100
Yes,
years.
yes, she did.
Even my great grandmother,
God
Mama
bless her
said
soul,
she
she
lived till
did, yeah.
103.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. So we
okay.
have something similar, sir.
Okay. I wish I had that frizzy hair, but
Sir, it's just.
I'm not worried about you.
Oh, husband.
No?
He's been married since 5 years. Since we got married.
So 5 years and you have a 4-year-old.
Yeah, sir, we were quick.
Okay.
We knew what we wanted. And a 1-year-old.
Sweet.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Each movie that you've created is like a masterpiece. Music plays a very, very important role in all your movies. ഒരു മൂവി എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു ഡയറക്ടറിൻ്റെ ചോയ്സാണ്. ഹി പിക്സ് ദ ആക്ടേഴ്സ്, the visuals, the DOP, and he handpicks each and every person. So in all your movies, maybe Haris Jayaraj or A.R. Rahman or Sid Sriram, ഇവരെയൊക്കെ ഇങ്ങനെ പിക്ക് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ how do you pick them and how do you tell them what you want exactly?
I've been very lucky, honestly. And I take a call when I write something. I decide, okay, this should go to Haris, or maybe I'll take this to Rahman sir. Actually, I want to work with Rahman sir from my first film. But obviously, sir was very busy at that time, and then somewhere it didn't fall in place. So I took a film called Chennai Malayalam to him, which didn't happen. And then Vinnai Thandi was the second film that I took to him. That fell in place. Speaking about Unbeloved, I remember telling him while we were discussing on songs and songs were being done, and Unbeloved was done a little later. I said, I want a song that will probably play at all weddings hereafter. I said, that was my cue to him, I remember.
Okay.
And a lot of discussion goes into making a song. I think the only difference here is I don't just tell him I want a wedding song. I will probably tell him the entire sequence of what is there in that song, what the mood is, what the visuals are going to be. You know, they get married in a church, they get married in a temple. So he's also inspired. That's when the music also comes up like that. Yeah. Exactly. So you'll see a mix of a church. Yeah, exactly. So
both the elements.
So that's when he's able to come up with, you know, so much of discussion goes into making every song. And then you won't believe it, I've said this before also, every song that you've heard so far from my combination with the music director is the first tune that's come my way. I've never sent back a tune or said, can we look at another tune or can we correct this? No. I said this recently to a few directors, including Mani sir, and he said, I don't believe you, you're lying, he said.
Is it because you are not demanding, or is it because you're just getting what you needed?
Yeah, because I connect with it straight away. Our tune, our keyboard play, or piano play, a tune that comes my way, that sort of sets me up. I like it straight away. I've never been disappointed with something that came my way. Even a song like, I'll tell you, which is a beautiful song, Anal Mele Panithuli.
Anal Mele Panithuli.
You sing really well. I mean, in just a line itself. So this is a beautiful song.
Yeah.
But this was discussed by the producer at that point and people on the team saying, should we go in for a more commercial, song that will straight away connect? I said, no, I love this. This connected with me, and I'm just going. This is experimental, and I'm going to shoot it the way I want to shoot it. So there was discussion from, I know the DOP on the sets and people, the ADs who listened to the song at that point, they were all like, should we, get another, slightly more, because Adiye Kollide is already there.
Yes.
Anjala is already there, so can we push it? I said, no, I love this, let's just go with this. So it connected with me straight away, and I went in, and then I bring Tamare in, and then the way the lyrics unfold, there's a lot of discussion, figuring out the tune, the lyrics. I write lyrics in English when I write the script, and then that's sort of not translated or converted, it's inspiring for her from there to write her Tamil lines, which are original Tamil lines, So, Ennodu va veedu varaikum, en veettai paar ennai pidikkum,
Ennodu va veedu varaikum, en veettai paar ennai pidikkum.
Exactly.
Ival yaro yaro theriyade, ival pinnal nenje pogade, idu poyyo meyyo theriyade. போகாதே அந்த நெஞ்சுக்கிட்ட அவன் சொல்கிறான் ஏன் நெஞ்சே போகாதே என்ன போயிட்டான்ல சார்.
He sings really well.
Sir, I'm singing your songs because it's engraved in our hearts, sir. Not only me, but also everybody. Literally, we grew up listening to your songs. Like back then, we didn't have Spotify or anything. So we would buy these CDs and cassettes and turn it and, listen to the same track again and again. We even knew the order in which the songs will come, especially Minnale. We knew the background score, everything. And that's how we Poopol yen nenje koidaval. Oh, and that rain sequence where she starts dancing, and I danced like that, sir, in the rain, and I just got cold. I didn't fall.
No, but somebody must have seen you dancing and must
Nobody
have fallen
saw me, sir.
Yeah.
என்ன பைத்தியக்காரி அது மாதிரி யாரை சொல்லியிருப்பாங்க. I literally danced multiple times. So I think, are you selling expectations high?
I mean, some people I know call my films fantasy films because they say this never happens in real life.
No, sir, I was dancing. I was a 10-year-old now. Only in my mind I am Rimasan. For them, like one 10-year-old dancing in the rain.
You should probably dance now.
Now if I dance, what? My 2 kids will also be... I don't know, sir. But I found my husband, he's also dancing.
Yeah, no, you should keep it alive for him also.
Yeah,
no, I'm saying.
Sir, how do you think we made 2 babies?
No, now I'm saying today,
we
tomorrow.
are keeping it fire. Minnale. Every day he'll say Kaakha Kaakha. I'll be like Vaaranam Aayiram. Ana ipa vendu thanirundadu. Okay.
That's a really good one.
Sir.
So you not only made me smile, you made me laugh.
Sir, can I use this in my promo? Oh my God, sir. See, sir, how many questions?
Go for it.
5-mark questions. Because I've even written, if you lose it, read these. You taught men, a lot of men, how to treat a woman. Like when it comes to Vaaranam Aayiram, you showed love that happens between parents, like at that age, the respect and the love, and how it ages like wine if it's true love. And you also showed love, that young teenage or adolescence love. How a man could go so crazy that he leaves everything behind, goes to another country for his love. And the heartbreak, how it transforms his life and the turmoil that he goes through, and how the father supports him, and the strong characters. Like I've heard that I don't know if you'll be comfortable with me talking about it, but you wrote the script while you were on your flight to your father's funeral. You wrote that. Tell us about Vaaranam Aayiram and the tribute that you gave your father through the film.
So that's exactly that. I heard that he'd passed away and I was abroad and I was flying back to get in time for the funeral and everything, and it was a long flight, 13-14 hours, and I just started, I didn't write it as a screenplay or as a script. It was not about a film at that point, but I just started writing about my first memory of my father, from the first time I remember his face and what he said to me, until the last time I saw him, right? So I just put it down on paper, and I came back home, and then at that's the same time when Surya and I were discussing a film.
Yes.
It was a coming of age story. It didn't have the father character so much in the idea that I gave him and all that. And after about 10-15 days, I told him that I'm just holding on to this, and somewhere I want this translated into a film, and I'm going to narrate something to you based on this. Can you listen to me?
And he gave you a standing ovation.
Yeah, actually he did. He and Ratnavel, both of them were there, because we had already fixed who's going to be in the film and all that. Randy, we call him Randy, you know. So both of them heard this narration, and they both, Surya, I remember, stood up and he just started, applauding. And I said, would you really like it? He said, superb, this is what I want to do. This is what was missing in the previous idea that you, now it's perfect. Yeah, let's just do this. And he said, I'll play both the roles, he said. I was not so sure of that because of the technical aspects involved. I don't like filming, one actor playing two characters. Also, the audience knows at every point that it's the same actor, right? But he convinced me, and he came on board. It was very emotional to shoot the film because I was recreating moments from my own life with my father, and like I'm sure every person has an attachment to his father and knows and loves his father a certain way. I'm sure, but and me too. But for me, my father was very, very special. It was more like a friend, and I could talk anything to him. And
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he was absolutely. And what you saw in that film about the Malini and the Christian part was actually what my dad and mom have told me about their college days and how they met and what dad did and all that stuff. So when I was working on this project, I mean on this film again, I went and I didn't tell my mom that this is a film that I'm making. But I would just keep asking her again, tell me about the first time you met dad, and what was it here, what was there and all that stuff. So she would just narrate, tell me. So I put all that down, and then I made this into a film.
She's like your co-writer.
Yeah, sure. If you see the first thanks card is for her only, the film. And of course the music that Harris gave me made that film, so complete. Like you spoke about the songs earlier, complete credit to all the music composers I've worked with. The songs are from them, but I'll take credit for it because I said yes to those songs, to those tunes, and I gave life to those songs.
Yes.
Because some of those tunes, honestly I'm saying, would have been Anil Mele, even Nenjukul Peidhan would have been, I'm sure in any other office or any other studio, it could have been illa vera onu pannalama, which is fair enough, I'm just saying. But I grabbed it and I said, I will work on this and I will bring the lyrics to this. And so I will take credit for all those songs that we've made with Raja sir, Nidane in Ponvasandam, Harris on all the films that we've made, and Rahman sir, and then even Maruvarte with Darbuka, that we made, So there's a lot of thought that goes into every song, which is why I want to own these songs myself, in that sense.
The dialogues that you write, the intensity with which you write it, the way you emote it, even your voice is so good, like when you say things, and it's like as if you're speaking from the soul level, there is a lot of silence in your film. I feel like the tension between two actors, especially when they are in love, that's very positive, but there's a tension, the attraction, and as audience we feel that energy, we feel very like, is it okay if we watch this, because it feels too personal. Sometimes when two people are hugging or they are dancing together, or the physical love may not make us so uncomfortable. Sometimes the silence makes us so, because it's such a new feeling, right? Like we haven't seen people explore the eye contacts much. I always tell Srini, like, what tickles me the most is when you look at me in my eyes, like, because I feel seen. I feel like you're looking into my heart. So tell us about how you navigate through that kind of love for your characters.
It's not just writing, you experience those moments. I believe in looking into somebody's eyes and talking. Thamare also believes in that when she wrote the lyrics. There are lines which say that actually. That he rarely, he can't even Kangale Nimirundu Partida un iniya ganniyam thonude and all that. People who don't have any love in their lives, and I'm saying it in a very sorry way, are the ones who criticize something like this, where how can two people just connect? So it's just looks. It's not looks.
It's never.
It's the moment, it's the vibe, it's the moment around them. It's something that connects between two people that makes this guy take that extra step for her, in a good way, I'm saying. And today I know there are people who are saying that all these moments are under stalking, and the way I was just listening to you, and I thought how different this perspective is, where you said you found it so sweet that somebody travels all the way for this girl, but there are people who also said this is stalking.
Oh, really?
In today's scenario, right? I don't believe in that at all.
Must be people
there is a
who
line.
couldn't afford to travel like that.
And who also don't have any love in their lives, I think.
Maybe,
they don't look at love like that, I think.
You started your career in 2001 with Minale. When it came out, it was 2001. And now it's 2025. A lot has changed. Back then, we didn't even have a phone. Like, that's how love happened. We used to exchange letters, and even looking at a boy was a big deal. Like, now we are much more open and accessible. And as a director, now when you're writing a character, you can't really write a Jesse now. Or maybe a Karthik may not even exist because he'll be busy scrolling on Instagram and he may not even notice a Jesse.
Interesting. I agree, but I also don't agree, because I'm very sure Karthik exists and so many Jessies exist. There are still people who are so bothered about religion and caste, and that they want their children only to get married to people from their own caste and community and creed and all that stuff, right? And those girls or boys cannot step out
of their comfort.
And meet people. They can meet people and all that, but you can't bring them home in that sense. Yes. Forever. There are a lot of people who go through that. What I'm trying to tell you is the feelings are the same. Yes. I still feel the same way. I might have a phone. I might today just text somebody saying, hey, you know what, I'm sorry I spoke to you like that last evening. Earlier, 20 years ago, I would have cycled or ridden all the way to that person's place.
To say that.
And I would have hung out, tried to meet them. And then she might not have been there at all. I would have tried to figure out where she went. But today, maybe I know where she is straight away. And whether she's going to respond to me or not. Whether he or she is going to respond to me or not, right? So maybe technology and the world has changed in that sense, but the feelings are the same. I don't think
feelings
that has
never
ever
changed.
Yeah. So different times, different standards of acceptance, that's all.
Yes.
And I've said this recently also, if you go back and pick a certain work, I think this is all work of art, right? Mm-hmm. If you go back and say 20 years ago, this shouldn't have been done, you cannot do that with art, because then art itself will be obsolete.
Yes. Maybe art is just art. Let it be.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Vinnaithaandi Varuvaayaa. Okay, I watched it because it released on OTT, and Neeraj called me and he's like, Pearle, you need to watch this. I've done something crazy. And Neeraj is a very dear friend of mine. So he said, in the movie, you have to watch it because he's done something out of his comfort zone and something that he's never done before. And I watched the movie. I've never seen Simbu like that before. It showed me a different side of Simbu. Even the romance was so raw. And even before, in the movie Paakradhukku Munnadiye, I was listening to Malipuru song because it had released and I never knew what is this song, because it became viral and I'm like, Malipuru vechu vadude, Malli nila vandu thedude, macha eppo vara pore, macha eppo vara pore, pathu thala paamba ena mutta thara. Adukapram varala. Like, I was like, why is she saying all this? She's romantic and she's sad. So, what is the story? Movie paatha. I see a bunch of guys madly in love with their wives, missing them. Avരുടെ അടുത്ത് പോകാൻ പറ്റില്ല, കൊച്ചുങ്ങളുണ്ട്, ബൊമ്മ വാങ്ങിച്ചിട്ട് പെട്ടിയിൽ വെച്ചിരിക്കുകയാണ്. And then he's asking her to sing for him. And she sings. Even when I say this, I feel, because, isn't that the most painful kind of love? And she's saying, Macha eppo vara pore. And she's saying, I'm struggling here and I'm alone. And, there's so much depth to that lyrics. How did you come up with Malipuru? Because I did a reels with my mother-in-law in the song and it became viral, okay? Because she danced. It is a song that connected with all the generation. Because on the macha and the words, the choice of words, everything, it connects with a lot of people. How did A.R. Rahman sir?
No, go on. I don't want to answer. You can go on. I'd like to listen to you talk about this.
I might cry because I'm not even kidding. When I watched the movie, I was saying, how do people love and live like this, And I felt like, if I could give him some money and ask him to go home and just be with his love, because it's so difficult to find that kind of love, and the fact that they're not able to enjoy that together, that hurt me more. Because there are so many people who can be together, but they're not in love. They have the luxury of living together, spending time together, have the best of homes and everything. But sometimes we feel like the most precious love is found in the most struggling people. Like diamonds are found in dirt.
Yeah.
So it's like that.
So when this story is by Jay Mohan sir, when Jay Mohan sir told me the story, he narrated exactly the way you just sort of reminisce the whole scene right now, where he said these guys, you know, பொம்மை வாங்கி வச்சிருக்கான், பெட்டி இருக்கு, ஆனால் வந்து அவங்களால பேச தான் முடியும், வீடியோ கால்ஸில் இருப்பாங்க, ஒரு ரூம்குள்ளே 40-50 பேர் மேலே இருப்பாங்க, அண்ட் அவன் பேசுறது இவனுக்கு கேட்கும், இவன் பேசுறது அவனுக்கு கேட்கும், பட் வேறு வழியில் பேசி தான் ஆகணும், போக முடியாது. And wives, this is exactly how we describe. There was no song in the story here. So when I sat with Rahman sir on the songs of the film, I said, sir, there's a moment here, there's a moment there. When they're getting married, we can have a song. This is the moment and all. And then he said, you mentioned something about a video call. Anga or song vekklamma, he said. So I said, oh, abdiya sir, okay. So you figure that out and come, he said. We will discuss this again. You figure that out and let me know, he said. So I immediately sat and figured out a moment here where we can have a song. Then randomly, at 1:30 or 2 in the morning, I get a call from Rahman sir. And he doesn't know what time it is and all that, because he works all the time, I think. So he called me, are you asleep? I said, no sir, I'm awake. And I actually had fallen asleep. He said, get Thamare on the line. And we connected on a Zoom call. And we fixed the lyrics for Malipuru in the middle of the night. For a situation that was never there in the film, it was only a scene, but we changed it into a song where everybody gets in on that one of the guys' wives calling, which becomes a sort of a moment for everybody to sort of forget everything and just, you
because
know,
music
revel.
is universal.
Yeah, exactly.
And when she sings, it's like everybody is.
And Thamare comes in with the most brilliant lyrics, Rahman sir's music, and he insisted that Madhushri should sing the song. You know, there's something golden about her voice. Yeah. Maybe the pronunciation, we took a lot of time for it because she's not naturally Tamil speaking.
But
right?
her emotion was perfect.
Perfect. So he insisted saying, let's just go with the beauty of the voice, Gautham. Don't worry so much about
the lyrics.
You know, the lyrics.
You said some songs may not work as it is. But when I heard Malipuru first, it didn't really work for me. But when I saw it in the movie, when I saw the situation, it hit me so hard, like a bullet. I was like, how did I miss that? Like, how did I not think this was coming? Tell us about Simbu, because I feel like you are a power combo. Whenever you guys come together, you guys create magic. Tell us about Simbu, like how is it working with him as an actor? And he's also very raw, right? Like you can cast him as the stylish guy or any kind. He fits in to any role, I feel. Tell us about Simbu.
See, I'll answer this in another way. I've always wondered, what is this adulation that people have for actors, you know, on screen? You know, they're fans and they go crazy, they want to see their films repeatedly. So when I was a Kamal Haasan fan, I was the same way. I wore this. So when I saw Satya, I just after that I went and picked this up. Of course, I keep, you know, I go to a couple of places and look for this and I wear it every year, sort of a thing. Today I don't do that because I realize I understand what that is. I'm comfortable with a few people, but I also am at home with some of them. Like Surya, I wanted him to play the character in Vaaranam Aayiram because at that time Surya was family to me. Surya was a friend, somebody who I wanted to be with, whom I wanted to work with. We've discussed so much during Kaakha Kaakha as friends, two friends who came onto a set and figured out a film together, which is why I wanted him to be in Vaaranam and almost every film of mine. Likewise, I felt the same way with Simbu also. You know, like when I write something, straight away after Vinnaithaandi, I'm saying, I was very hesitant to work with Simbu on Vinnaithaandi because I'd never met him. I've only seen a couple of his films and we've spoken on the phone a couple of times. Somebody convinced me saying, if Simbu comes on board this film, you will get a little more money to shoot the film. Basically, that was
market value.
Yeah, and I was going with a couple of newcomers actually. So Simbu ne meet ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഞാൻ ഭയങ്കര reluctant ആയിട്ട് Simbu meet ചെയ്തു. I met him and somewhere he said, brother, you forget whatever I've done. This requires something else. I will be your Karthik. Na abhi easy adukula vanduruven, he said. I thought, okay, fine. You know, somebody is so convincing and I know he's capable of that. So we worked and I found one magic straight away because he was just reproducing, not just reproducing. I just had to let him be. I just had to, you know, Manoj and me just said, நம்ம focus measurement எல்லாம் பண்ண மாட்டோம் sir, we'll just shoot as and when they're talking. When Trisha and Simbu were actually rehearsing a scene, we were shooting. We were just shooting non-stop, you know. Brother, take and சொல்லுங்க brother and all, he'll say. இல்ல brother, நீங்க பண்ணுங்க, you know, all that. So they also were comfortable, we were also filming. And there was no, see, it was all professional and everything, but we were not scared of each other, you know. There was no, and the respect and all is there for legendary actors, I'm saying. but you're also on your toes. No, here it was very like I'm talking to somebody at home,
Yeah.
and I liked that.
Yeah.
So Simbu was somebody where when I wrote the next script, I straight away took it to him. Achamin with the mother maid, and he said, "Brother, what ne pannalam?" Vinnai Thandi the card also, we were supposed to start a love story. For some reason, the producer wanted some action and a thriller sort of a film. So I immediately went to him the next day and said, "Brother, adu venda, idu onnu kelunga."
Yeah.
And we sat in a 2-hour narration. He said, "Brother, I like it. Let's just do it." There was no idu eppadi panna poringa, idu work avuma, adala edume illa. He just said, "We'll do it and let's get into it." So even today I feel the same way. Like I know for my comfort and for something to come out really well, if I go and meet Simbu, I know I can get a film done with my in my space sort of a thing, you know. So I always look forward to working with a few actors. Recently I felt like that when I worked with Mammootty on Dominic also, like I felt at home. Legend, yes, I was on my toes, yes, but there was one warmth that came from him. Every shot, not a word. So we'll do one more, or you know, can we do this? I'll do it. You know. So there was one. I was going back home, sort of a feeling every day with him, and I felt that after a very long time on the sets.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Mammootty is looking so different in this movie. I mean, he's when I was singing the pillars and all, the posters, he's looking so good. I'm like, look at him, Srini. Like, you know, he looks so handsome and so beautiful. Like the way he carries himself, and he has his own aura.
Yeah.
So tell us about how Mammootty's character in the movie is.
So I'm also looking forward to seeing the film. I've dubbed for the film small, even though it was live sound, there was a few sound corrections that needed to be done. So I asked the team to show me some of the earlier moments and all that, and I thought he's done something completely new again. You know, from all existing films that we've seen recently also, this seemed like a slightly newer performance sort of a thing in that sense. And he's cool, he's suave, he's very, very stylish in this film. And there's a major twist, you know, also in the film. It's a cat and mouse, like I said. It's a police investigation.
With gaming being...
Yeah, with the gaming sort of a backdrop.
Mammootty ചെയ്യുന്ന ഓരോ സിനിമയും, like I think he's now experimenting even more as an actor. അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ choice of movies ആവട്ടെ ഭയങ്കര ഡെയറിങ് ആയിട്ടാണ് അദ്ദേഹം പോയി ഓരോ സിനിമയും ചെയ്യുന്നത്, and it all works. And I think he's giving opportunity to a lot of new directors and filmmakers.
Same here. My first film in Malayalam, he doesn't work with me.
And I love Dominic because I didn't expect the ending to be that way. Till the end, I had no idea. And I was like, there was... but the fact that it kept us all gripped, you know, throughout the reveal. I mean, I can't talk about it. Like, I think almost everyone would have seen the film, right? No.
I just wish we'd promoted the film a lot better. Like, we didn't speak to you before the film. So people didn't know about the film so much. Like, there are still people asking me, when is your film with Mammootty releasing, the one that you directed? Day before his day, I was in an interview with a journalist, and she asked me, so you have 2 films releasing, right? One is Dhuvanashatram with Vikram and one is Dominic with Mammootty.
Ayyo, ada eniki thonnu Wikipedia la update aayittundavu.
I said, no, the film released, you don't
because
know about
we knew. I think in Kerala we all
knew.
knew.
Even in Kerala, while I was traveling down, you know, towards south, eating lunch in one of the highway places, somebody asked me, when is your film coming out? It released 4 days ago.
Those are people who are born to irritate us.
It irritated me, yes.
In the lift only they'll talk too much. You'll get stuck with one person. I hope they won't ask, Pearle, jolly onnu ille? They'll ask. They would have seen my video the previous day, but still they ask. Why? Pleasure. Sir, one next question I'll ask you, sir. All the characters in your movie, especially the male characters, they have the way you write their masculinity, you make sure they show their vulnerabilities. Like, even love polum, it's as if they are in pain when they are in love. Like, oh, I don't know what to do. Like, you know, especially anganeykke aavu sir love aamba aanungalukku, because I am not...
Ask Srini. I think you know the answer, which is why you kept quiet.
Sir, I want to hear it from you, sir. Like, you know, and the ponnoda kaala pidikkumbodhu kedaikira and the happiness, you know.
There's no better place to be than at a woman's feet. I've said this many times. And I think that's the only way love can be. And men are really weak and vulnerable as far as women and love are concerned. I mean, there have been wars set off because of women, right?
Yes. But we don't see Indian cinema does not really show the weakness of men much.
I've been lucky to work with a few heroes who've agreed to do that on screen. It's because most of the heroes will not agree to be in a space like that. நான் ஏன் சார் அந்த பொண்ணு காலை பிடிக்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க.
Correct.
But my heroes have said உடனே பிடிக்கணும் வாங்க. So Simbu, Surya.
I think when they cry also, we also cry with them.
Yeah.
Like when Surya cried, I mean his character cried when his love passed away, and you know the amount of times he cried, it all felt so real. Maruvaarthai pesade, in that, even that song, you know, I used to keep it on loop. All your songs, I think it has helped us navigate through a breakup because we all have heartbreaks. So you have given us a playlist. Imagine you're a doctor, sir. So I'm saying, sir, I just had a breakup and what to do? You listen to the song, ma. 3 times a day, go. Imagine, I'm in love. Hi, Malini, I'm Krishna. Listen to this. Imagine I'm having long distance. Malipuru. So, sir, my first night, sir. Ondra. Just make sure nobody kills you in the morning. I think, sir, you're a legend. You're a legend, sir.
I love that. Make sure nobody kills you in the morning.
Because Ondra, like guns are there.
Most of the films also, right? 3 women have died.
Just be safe. No, and then he'll say, sir, I'm married, sir. Oh my God. Sir, I think we are done, sir.
Why am I disappointed that we are done?
Do you want me to do one thing? Like, it's called rapid fire. I usually do this session with everyone, but I don't know why I don't feel like doing this session with you, because I don't know if it's because of the respect that I have for you, but would you like to try it?
No, of course. If that's your format of your show, let's do it. Okay.
Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah, then please.
You can only expect dumb things from this session. You can't.
It wasn't dumb so far.
Yeah? Now you know. So, my G presents Pearle Maaney Show la ini adutha rapid fire question aanu. ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ ഭയങ്കര ഇൻവോൾവ് ആയിട്ട് ഇവിടെ ഇൻ്റർവ്യൂ നടക്കണൊക്കെ ഞാൻ മറന്ന് ഞാനിവിടെ ഇൻ്റർവ്യൂ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. സോ ലെറ്റ്സ് ഗോ ടു ദ നെക്സ്റ്റ് സെഗ്മെന്റ്, റാപ്പിഡ് ഫയർ. So the first question, the rapid fire, like as the name suggests, you have to be very like
you will ask fast, but I can take my time to answer.
No, you have to be fast. Like you just have to be honest, like, you know.
The problem with me is I'm always honest, and that gets me in trouble.
No, this is simple question, sir.
Okay.
I am not like that, sir.
Okay.
Acting or directing?
Directing.
An unforgettable call that you got after a movie release?
I got many calls from Kerala, especially some of the very big directors here like Satyajit Ray sir, who called me and said Kerala shot so beautifully in Vinnaithaandi Varuvaayaa and we really liked the film. So I never forget that.
You are somebody, കുറേ ബാക്ക്ഗ്രൗണ്ട് സ്കോറും മ്യൂസിക്കും ഒക്കെ ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് വെച്ചിരിക്കുന്ന ഒരാളാണ്. In your life, what is the background score of your life if you had to pick one?
No matter what, I keep, cycling back to Raja sir. For me, a lot of my music was influenced by the songs of Raja sir that I heard during my growing up years. So there's one song that constantly keeps playing, which is Uravugal Todar Kadai Unarvugal Siru Kadai Oru Kadai Endru Mudiyalam Mudivilum Mundru Todaralam Iniyellam Sugami. That's all.
Wow. Sir, you're giving me too much TRP, sir.
Come on.
Thank you. Keep it coming. Sir, your favorite Kerala cuisine?
Kerala food itself. Like, I can
Like for breakfast, if you're going to one
Puttu
nice...
and kadala.
Sir!
Yeah. Puttu and kadala curry with some banana and one pappadam. For lunch, rice, more curry, fish curry, and all your torans and all your aviyals and everything.
Sir, you are a Malayali, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sir, if you were in Kerala, you would have seen me, sir. A movie dialogue.
I want to be a big boss.
Then you would have hated me. Sir, a movie dialogue that defines, like all the dialogues, you can say one dialogue that defines you.
The first line from Vinnaithaandi, in any context you can use it.
Can you say it?
உலகத்தில் எவ்வளோ பொண்ணுங்க இருந்தும் நான் ஏன் ஜெஸ்ஸியை லவ் பண்ணேன், உலகத்தில் எவ்வளோ விஷயம் நடக்கும்போது நான் ஏன் இதை பண்ணிகிட்டு இருக்கேன், அந்த மாதிரி எது வேணாலும் அதில் போடலாம். தட்ஸ் த ஐடியா ஆஃப் மை லைஃப்.
എനിക്ക് ഹാപ്പിയായി സാർ. ചിരിച്ചാ ടച്ചപ്പ് വേണോ നിനക്ക്? സാർ എൻ്റെ മേക്കപ്പ് ആർട്ടിസ്റ്റ് സാർ, ഷീ വാണ്ട്സ് ടു ഡു മൈ ടച്ചപ്പ് ഓൺലി ബിക്കോസ് ഷീ വാണ്ട്സ് ടു ലൈക്ക് ഷോ ഹൗ ബ്യൂട്ടിഫുൾ ഷീ ഈസ്. ഷീ വോർ സാരി ടുഡേ സാർ, like Jessie. A hidden talent of yours that nobody knows.
I dance really well. You might have seen a sneak peek of that in this film called Dragon. But people who know me know that I dance. In my free time or if there's music playing, I'm dancing all the time.
So are you like
I've never said this to anybody.
You've never said,
Yeah.
said okay. Sir, you're saying a lot of things. Thank you, sir. Sir, that's so sweet. Like you.
I don't think anybody's asked me what a hidden talent is, so maybe that's why I said it.
Why do you hide it, sir?
I mean, I you know me, no? I mean, I told you a little earlier that I'm a very reluctant actor. So to do that on screen is not something that I want to do. But if you get into an inner circle of mine, you will see that I'm dancing.
You'll dance, so, okay. Hopefully, I'll be in that circle. Sir, imagine you're making a cocktail. So you have to give the name of your movies to this cocktail.
Can you give me a better example, because I don't drink, so
Like
I don't
for
know about
example,
cocktails.
Vendu Thanindadu liver. After drinking that
Which
cocktail.
will happen anyway, no?
Yeah. So something like that.
But for a cocktail only.
For a cocktail only, sir. Tirukatonna.
Vettaiyaadu Vilaiyaadu.
I didn't see that coming. Anything else, sir? So after one shot, you might feel like.
After one shot, it'll be Enne Arinda.
Yeah, I think. Beautiful, sir. Thank you, sir. For me, it's only Minnale. So, imagine God is telling you, Gautham, I can't give you a lot of weather and season and all that. I'll give you one weather. You shoot the entire movie in that. Which weather season or weather would you shoot?
Ideally rain, because I love the rain. I love the rain. But I know there's a lot of hardship around rain these days with, you know,
No,
people
that
struggling
God
and
will
all that.
provide. He'll produce.
So
it.
rain then, 100%.
I told you now you say rain because and the minnaleyil irundhe theriyum sir, you love rain. Sir, do you have any experience in rain?
I don't think I can say it on camera.
I'll off it. My studio only na.
Oh, you're still waiting for an answer?
Yeah. I told you rapid fire.
You've seen films, no? You've seen
You
my
edit
films.
it na and then tell me. Sir, you're
You're
gonna
not
make
using this for sure.
single pasangala. I'm sorry da. You will get your opportunity. Okay? What do you have to say to single boys, sir? Because first of all, you've set high standards for them. Now they're single also. What to do? How to fall in love, sir? How to impress a girl? Because
See,
இவ்வளோ மூவிஸ் பார்த்தும் படிக்கல, அவங்க கிட்ட என்ன சொல்வீங்க?
காதில் தேடிட்டு போக முடியாது, அதுவாக நடக்கணும். நம்மளை போட்டு தாக்கணும், தலைகளை போட்டு திருப்பணும். தேடி போனீங்கன்னா நடக்காது.
ஆனால் அங்கே தேடி தான் போகணும். A call that you've been waiting for all your life, but it's never happened. Or imagine that call, somebody, you don't have to mention the name, but maybe somebody is there a person like that in your life?
Yeah, I am. I can't talk about it, but yes, I am waiting for one call. In fact, I'm still holding on to a phone because I'm thinking that one call will come. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Nalloru. So some people, when we talk to them, we feel like there's so many layers to them. Like it's not easy to read them. It's like some books are just one book, but some are like they have so many volumes. You're like that, sir. You're like an encyclopedia when it comes to a lot of things. Maybe the way you understand emotions, the way you shoot films, the way you cast, the way you put movies together with music and everything. Thank you so much, sir, for being you. And just കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടില്ല sir ഇപ്പം എന്നോട് പാടാൻ പറയും. അവിടെ ഇരി അവിടെ.
No, we can't finish the show without you singing Vasigra.
Sir, thank you for forcing me, sir, but
Can you sing it from the Charanam?
Charanama.
The Saranam, the second part of the sir.
Sir, high pitch. If something goes wrong,
Yeah,
we'll
don't
do
worry,
retake.
I'm not judging you here.
அடைமழை வரும் அதில் நனைவோமே குளிக்காய்ச்சலோடு ஸ்நேகம் ஒரு போர்வைக்குள் இரு தூக்கம் எங்கேயும் போகாமல் தினம் வீட்டிலேயே நீ வேண்டும் சில சமயம் விளையாட்டாய் உன்னாடைக்குள்ளே நான் வேண்டும் வசீகரா என் நெஞ்சினிக்க உன் பொன்மடியில் தூங்கினால் போதும் அதே கரம் என் கண்ணுறங்கா முன் ஜென்மங்களின் ஏக்கங்கள் தீரும் நான் நேசிப்பதும் சுவாசிப்பதும் உந்தயவால் தானே ஏங்குகிறேன் தேங்குகிறேன் உன் நினைவால் நானே நான் ஆஜாரே ஆஜாரே ஆஜாரே
I try to mix the Hindi part because I like both.
Very good, really.
Thank you so much, sir. So now we
You're
have.
very lucky.
So when I was in Big Boss, I impressed him like this only.
Okay.
We used to dance. There is no music, no TV, nothing. So I used to sing this and Ondra Rendra. That also, please force me.
yeah.
My cousins will be so jealous because I have cousins who sing better than me, and now they'll be like, "You got the opportunity to show off in front of you." I'm like, "Yeah." Sir, give me a hand, sir. Ondra, Renda, ஆசைகள் எல்லாம் சொல்லவே ஒரு நாள் போதுமா?
ஒன்றா ரெண்டாசைகள் எல்லாம் சொல்லவே ஒரு நாள் போதுமா அன்பே இரவை கேட்கலாம் விழியில் தாண்டியும் இரவே நீளுமா என் கனவில்லா நான் கண்ட நாளிதுதான் கலாப காதலா பார்வைகளாலா பல கதைகளா பேசிடலாம் கலாப காதலா கலாப காதலா.
So good.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for making our life
Really
better with your creation, and looking forward to more and more movies, especially Bazooka and how you have done your character Joshua, Benjamin Joshua, with our very own Mamooka. So guys, നിങ്ങൾ എല്ലാവരും ഈ സിനിമ തിയേറ്ററിൽ തന്നെ പോയി കാണാം. ഇന്ന് സത്യം പറഞ്ഞാൽ I was just catching up with him because I have never met him. First time ആണ് ഇദ്ദേഹത്തിനെ ഞാൻ കാണുന്നത്. എനിക്ക് ചോദിക്കാനുള്ള എല്ലാം ഞാൻ ചോദിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞു, and I'm so happy that I got you. And ഇന്ന് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു ഗിഫ്റ്റ് തരാനുണ്ട് സർ.
Sure.
This is a small hamper from us. I have Chima curated a few things. And we also have a gift from My G. It's a special gift. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for making me feel really good and comfortable.
Thank you. Everyone clap it. ഞങ്ങളാ happy. Yeah.
And we met because of Bazooka.
Yes.
So really happy to be here. And Bazooka is Mamooka. That's it.
Thank you so much, sir. And thank you.
Thank
Please,
you.
I hope to have you again on our show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This video is powered by MyG Future. Experience the next.
Love yourself the way you are. Love the world the way it is. Just go ahead and do your thing. Just believe, just believe. Pearle Maaney Show. Oh, oh. Believe in yourself. Do it. Love yourself the way you are. Love the world the way it is. Pearle Maaney Show.